What is going on, friends, family, and fellow resellers? I know y'all know that I'm Tom the Queen City Picker, and I want to welcome you to this episode of Let's Talk About It. And since I'm the only one here tonight, I guess it's going to be a quick one. I hope everybody's been having a good week. And I hope their sales have started picking up. And okay, sit over there. Sit over there. There you go. Here. Sorry, cat maintenance first thing. Okay, there. There's your light that doesn't throw out any heat. Excuse me. It's been a real interesting week in the world of eBay. We had a CEO to get kicked out again. And what's that really? Thank you, Liz. Don't call her. She doesn't need any encouragement. I totally forgot what I was going to say. Anywho, okay, I got everything back up now. Shield the stay off my keyboard. So anyhow, there's allegedly 8 watching, and I've only see Liz in the chat. So whoever else is watching, how about say good evening or how you doing or kiss my butt or whatever you want to say in the chat, so we'll know who all's out in there. Three things we're going to talk about is managed payments and my opinion about such, the lack of eBay sales and my opinion on such topic, and the eBay CEO out and my opinion on that. What are you doing? Hey, The Truth, how are you? David. Hey, Donatella. How are you tonight? I'm having to read it over here because the print's bigger on this computer. David says, the sales way up, and no, I don't do promoted listings or free shipping. I like making offers to watchers. I like the making offers to watchers feature. Hey, Swag, you got too good. You can't come in here with me anymore. Hey, Tommy, how are you doing tonight? I'm sorry. I forgot and I just stuck that piece of candy in my mouth. That was so rude. Tommy, there's a link if you want to come in. Swag, there's a link if you want to come in. Donatello, there's the link if you want to come in. Linkway, David, I'm glad your sales are up. I'm sorry. What are these things called? Starburst. I wanted some chocolate. There's not a piece of chocolate to be had in this house. And would anybody offer to go get me a piece of chocolate? No, they wouldn't. Hi, Beth. The link is right above your head if you want to come in. But I hope everybody's had a good week and is ready to go too. Okay, Donatello. I know you go by Donna too, but I just like that name. Hey, Linda. Are you in bed tonight? If not, there's a couple of links up from you, a couple of spaces above you if you want to come in and visit so everybody can meet you. There it is again. But anyway, the weekend is rapidly approaching. Just one more day. Okay. Well, just click the button and that link, and it should prompt you for everything you need to do. Okay, let me try it again. Oh. Why will it add to string? Okay, there's one. Hey, Sally.
Hi. I'm just watching you put your cat down 1,000,000 times.
What will it? Okay.
That's hysterical.
God, I love her. I love her to death, and she's so sweet to me, but she can drive me to drink.
Hi, Beth.
Hey, I'm not angry typing, but you can listen to me cut numbers.
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
getting ready to record another math video, so have to cut these numbers out real quick.
Another math video.
Yeah, on I have another channel. It's a teaching channel.
Are you a teacher or a former teacher?
Yes.
Oh, God love you.
And I have a new channel, and it's for parents and grandparents who need to help their kids with homework, and basic skills in elementary school. So
I'm helping my next door neighbor. He's a young guy, and he teaches at a private school, and he's setting up StreamYard so he can do like each evening about an hour of group tutoring type thing.
Mm-hmm.
So he's looking forward to it. His kids say, like, he'll be online for an hour and he'll post a link, and then if anybody has any questions, they can come in and ask him about it.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm a Montessori teacher for 25 years, and also homeschool both of my kids through high school. So
Cool.
all my lessons are pretty much Montessori based, hands-on. So
I
was hoping to be able to do tutoring that way, but I haven't figured out how to do that yet with hands-on, because the kid would have to have the same materials I'm working with, and
right.
Just don't know if there's a way to do that.
I think the way Paul's going to do it is he's going to have like his laptop set up running, and then he's going to have his wife's laptop set up and running with a camera on a whiteboard, so he can write on the whiteboard and the kids can see what's on the whiteboard.
Yeah, see, that's easy to do when it's one-dimensional like that, but doing it with materials, I still haven't figured out how to do it.
Yeah.
Kimberly was going to be my guinea pig. I know her son was needing some fraction lessons, so I was thinking about actually sending her materials that she could make, like just the templates, and she can make them for him, and he could move them around, and I could be moving mine around, and I could be seeing him, and he could be seeing me, but I just haven't done it because I have no time. I don't know, because I've never seen anybody do it. That's one thing I've never seen anybody do, and I would like to be the pioneer of that. But
Hmm.
I don't know. Because this driving to people's houses is nuts.
Oh, you tutor.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I do too. I have one student right now that I tutor. So
um,
that's like an hour and about 45 minutes total to get there and back in the car.
my son's Sasha. His best friend's mom is a school teacher, and she tutors. She has a room that's supposed to be a formal dining room, and it's basically her homeschool room.
Yeah.
And she teaches math and sciences, and she usually has 2 or 3 every afternoon over there.
Yeah. I used to, when I was married, my kid used to come to me, but with my wife being sick, and I have one dog that would never leave us alone, it just wouldn't work for have students come over here.
Sort of like my cat.
Yeah, kind of like your cat. We would never get anything done. So, but yeah, I used to have them. They would just come and, one right after another. And it was so great because I didn't have to pay for gas, in time.
Right.
But I just can't do that.
Hey, just me from Australia. Love it down there.
Thank you, Just Me, for subscribing. I appreciate it. Hey, the truth. How are you, David?
Just me.
Hi, David.
It is gorgeous down there. We spent 10 days down there. It was gorgeous. The people were great. Y'all just have some wicked bugs down there. So,
What is this that David's talking about? He says that him and Tommy Bernard's gonna go live from Vegas with eBay from the pulpit. When is that supposed to happen?
I don't know.
That's the first time I'm hearing of it.
There's a link if somebody wants to come in here and tell us about it.
How are you feeling, Sally?
Still kind of like crap, but I think I feel better than yesterday.
You sound better a little bit.
Yeah. It's not bad except when I cough.
Oh, yeah.
When I cough, I try not to cough, which is horrible.
I
But
actually bruised 3 ribs coughing one time when I had bronchitis a couple of years ago. It took me forever to get over those bruised ribs.
It sounds horrible when I cough.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like that's what's going on. It sounds horrible. And I almost feel like I have pneumonia or something, but I don't have a fever. So,
well, and they checked you for that, right?
Well, she listened to my lungs,
and she said you don't have pneumonia.
Yeah, but
she would have been able to tell.
She didn't say that I didn't have pneumonia.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Just did sounded just like when I asked my boys something, and they're not 100% truthful.
I mean, she doesn't say, well, you don't have pneumonia, that you sound clear. She didn't say that.
Well, I would think she was pretty much required to tell you if she thought you were getting close to pneumonia.
I don't know. They asked me if I was spitting up stuff, and I said yeah, because I was that day. And now it's rare that I spit anything up. So that's the scary part of it. But at least I've kind of worn out my ribs a little bit to where I don't hurt as much as I did yesterday.
Good.
in my lungs and stuff. So it was really painful yesterday where I didn't want to hardly freaking move because I was in such bad pain. But it's not that bad today.
Let me stop for a commercial break right here. If any of the people that come through and you're not subscribed to Reseller Rowboat or the upside down picker, y'all be sure and do that before you leave out, because they both have good content that you need to check out. And back to our scheduled program.
Can I tell them what Resell Rowboat is for?
Sure, if you want to.
Okay,
Yeah.
Reseller Rowboat is trying to function as a hub of information. One of the things I like to do is get your birth date. Don't put it in here because I'm not watching the chat right now, but you can message me from YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. And so what we do is every month we try to, send you something on your birthday, send you a message. If you're going in the hospital or you're ill, another reseller that has an issue can just let me know, and I'll get the information out to the community, and they'll pray for you or send you love and light or whatever you need, to kind of help you.
And she doesn't need a social security number. She doesn't need a social security number or a credit card number to do this either.
Because we're all different places, right? We're all in different chats and different places, and we don't find out about things. And, that's what got it started. Is one of my friends was in the hospital, and I didn't even know it because I didn't happen to be in that chat that day.
Right.
So it's kind of like a center place where we can all get the word out.
Hey, Mid-Taz, how you doing? Swamp Picker, she said my AVG is blocking StreamYard.
Hi, Jody.
Do they not have like like you can allow certain things to pass through?
Hey, Jody.
Jody, I can never remember her. I always want to say Janie.
I'm gonna mute my camera a minute so you don't see my big butt.
Oh, that's okay.
I want to see your big butt, Beth.
Actually, I'm looking for a bicycle horn at the bins because whenever I get up, I want to blow it and say "Big Butt Alert." But I haven't found one yet. But I'm still looking for one. First, I wanted to get an air horn, and I thought that would be too loud. So now I'm just looking for a bicycle horn.
I wanted to let y'all know that I was pretty amazed because I haven't sent a big package out in a while. Like a big item. But I sent those suitcases the other day, and it cost $120. What was it? 120, 121? Yeah, 121 for 28 pounds. And it was from Michigan to Louisiana.
Is that good or bad?
It was pretty bad.
And how did you send it?
Priority.
Oh, you didn't send it ground.
Yeah, it did go ground.
Somehow you got the wrong address put in there.
It had to go ground because it was too big to go any other way.
Well, I mean, you didn't do UPS or UPS or FedEx, or did you compare prices?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
So it's my own fault. But no, I didn't try FedEx because if I did, I would have to take it to Walgreens, and then I'm just thinking that Walgreens probably wouldn't accept that either because it was probably too big.
Oh, I don't know about that. I've taken some pretty big boxes there.
Have you?
Yeah.
All right. Look at Summer go. She's here at the start. She's here at the
guys,
start.
I'm gonna get off here and start recording these videos. So y'all have a great night.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks for coming by.
Okay.
How about say hello or something in the chat before you leave?
Okay, everyone have a great night and paddle on.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, I hate to hear about the double ear infection, bronchitis, and strep.
Oh, great.
That sounds like you just have had a heck of a day, week.
Oh.
Well, I hope it starts feeling better. You start feeling better.
Yeah, crap. There's nothing to mess around with for sure.
I just made some restaurant food. I made some restaurant quality food.
Yeah, Brandon made potato and broccoli and cheese and potato soup tonight.
Dang.
I know. It was so good. I had 1.5 bowls. It was so yummy.
I like soups and stews and that kind of stuff.
Well,
Restaurant-
I
it was
like-
restaurant quality soup.
Yeah, it was soup that tasted like it had cooked all day.
Really?
I mean, like it had that taste to it, like it was, it was really like savory.
Right.
But yeah, it didn't even take them that long. It probably took
Restaurant food's bland. I said it's restaurant quality food.
it took like what, an hour?
45
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
45
But
minutes, basically.
it was really yummy.
Well, I'm glad it was good. So
So
I've been listening to a bunch of people talking about this daggum managed payments.
see, I got on the show late this morning, and so I got halfway in it, and I didn't understand really what they were talking about, and I had not heard anybody else.
Well,
So
managed payments is what eBay's going to, and if anybody's actually using that now wants to come in, there's a link in the chat that y'all can come in. We'll only talk about it briefly, and then I'll tell you a story, Summer. They're getting rid of PayPal, and they're going to be managing all that in-house. Apparently, you will not, where PayPal, would deduct the fee when they processed your money. Apparently, eBay will add all of that to your bill at the end of the month. So your bill will be your listings, and it also handle the they're transitioning her account right now.
oh no.
I didn't hear about that. So
did they just pick a certain amount of people to transition?
they're slowly bringing people over. By the end of next year, everybody's supposed to be over it. There's some things that really, and I'm not a big seller, and I don't rely on the money, but things like, which with eBay, I mean with PayPal too, you got to change. If you want to pull money down to your account, you've got to request a withdrawal or a deposit into your regular bank account. But until you do that, you can use your PayPal card and pay for shipping and stuff like that. You're going to have to, people are not going to be able to pay for shipping out of their funds. They're going to have money on hand to pay for shipping. Like if you're doing shipping for Amazon, even though they collect a shipping fee, that you don't get it right off. So you're going to have to pay. Everybody's going to have some funds available elsewhere to pay for your shipping.
Right.
I don't like the fact that you won't have access through it to your PayPal card just for general purchases anyway. So, and there's, I've heard several different other YouTubers talk about it that are on the managed payments plan now, and they are having, they're looking at like 3 or 4 days getting their request, funds, it's taken 3 or 4 days for them to get it, the quickest. If it hits on the weekend, you know how banks work, you're not going to get the money. It's going to be Monday before it actually hits your bank account, unless they do it on Friday. Or, you know, it hits your bank on Friday. Well, that's just it, Summer. It's really going to mess up. People really, we're going to have to start thinking about now about how they're going to, how this is going to affect their finances as far as managing their finances. You're going to have funds available to pay your shipping. I heard one person say it took 7 days to get their cash from managed payments. Like you said, use it to pay your house payment. You're gonna have to allow for the time for your money to hit your bank account. Now, one of the things that is going to be good about it is that people will not try to double dip. They get a refund from eBay, and then they try to go back to PayPal and also get a refund. With eBay taking care of both of them, it's going to, you're not going to go to your daddy and ask for something, and then he says no. You turn around, you can go to your mama. So it's just a case where that's going to limit that. And I understand why they're only bringing so many people on at a time, because this is going to be a real pain in the butt. But like I said, it's going to cause people to have to really seriously think about how they do the business portion of eBay, how they pay their fees. It'd be nice if they just deducted all the fees as you went. Like, because you sell a lot, Summer. That's the only reason why I think I think they're picking mid to high sellers to see how really, because my money goes in my PayPal account and it just sits there. That's all right. I'm sorry that you're having to deal with that now.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, it's really going to cause people to have to rethink how they pay their bills and how they access their money, and it'd be like I said,
it'll mean a whole lot different for me too, because I basically just live on like my day-to-day
right,
is from PayPal.
right.
So it's going to be very different once they change that over for me, because I'll have to I'll have to actually start buying food like once a week or something, or twice, every 2 weeks or whatever. Because my bills are basically being paid by my check, and then we live on PayPal for like groceries and stuff like that.
Right.
So it'll be different. We'll have to figure it out, but it'll work. It might be better. Who knows?
Yeah, it might give people more restraint in how they spend their money, and I haven't heard whether if you have a balance due, and if anybody in the chat has heard, I don't know if you have balance in your funds available with managed payments. I don't know whether you can authorize them to deduct your fees and stuff directly out of that.
That would be great for me.
Yeah. I mean, otherwise you're going to have to turn around and you know, use whatever, have them drafted out of your account, or use a different debit card or whatnot.
Yeah.
Another thing too is your people's bookkeeping. A lot of people use Lord have mercy. The accounting program that's really set up for eBay, because it goes in and taps up your PayPal account. What's it called? GoDaddy,
Oh yeah.
whatever that's called. Anyway, right now, when you pull down your numbers from GoDaddy or from PayPal, it gives you a line item. Of every sale you've done, every transaction you've had through PayPal, it pulls it down.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with this new system, it's only going to pull down, what your total was for the month, or for whatever withdrawal you made, if that makes sense. So
Right.
you're not going to have the line items on there that you got a shipment from this guy and this guy and this guy and this guy.
And and I don't know. All I know is what I've heard. Hi, sister. All I know is what I've heard, and I heard that GoDaddy won't work with that new managed payments.
Yeah, that's what I've
That's what I heard. But I don't know a whole lot about the managed payment system thing. The only thing I read was whenever it first came out, and I read up on it, and I was like, but we'll figure it out. You don't need to be like sky is falling.
No.
And, we're never gonna get through this, and I'm quitting eBay because I'm not doing this. Just get over it. It's gonna change things, but it might be better.
Valerie, there's your chat, the link if you want to come in. Hey, Creative Videos. Don't think I've seen you in here before. What part of North Carolina are you in?
Hey there.
Hey, Public Rights Auditor.
And how are you gonna do things different? Do you know, Summer? Hey, Bumcock.
Yeah, hey, Bumcock. Right now, my plan is to sell everything off this fourth quarter and create a big nest egg. Bookkeeping, I'm going to just cry about, and then after Christmas, come up with a long-term plan.
I see. Oh, dang. I wish I could say, yes, I'm going to sell everything. I'd do that in a minute. Anybody want to make me an offer?
It's just going to take some time, but it's like the government with the tax system. They changed something on the tax system, and you have to adjust your business or your personal financial plan to deal with the taxes.
Yeah.
Oh, over in East North Carolina?
And I'm sure there's something else that will be able to work with this new management payment system.
Right.
Other than GoDaddy, or if GoDaddy doesn't work, I'm sure they'll make up something that does work with it.
Right.
They make so much money off of, people that do e-commerce stuff that, I'm sure that they would lose a ton of money if they didn't.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. They're going to lose a lot of money off of, they're going to lose a lot of money off of by losing all these eBayers.
Well,
just about everybody you listen to a video and they start talking about finances, they pull down their eBay stuff through that GoDaddy accounting.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Nikki.
Hi, Nikki.
Are you working?
Uh,
It's just going to be something, like you said, the sky is not falling. It's just,
no.
it's you're a business owner and you just have to adjust. And everybody's probably been really spoiled by this GoDaddy program.
Yeah,
So
I had it for a while. I got rid of it, but I had it for a while.
it might be a case where people are going to have to go see a CPA or just a bookkeeper in general and say, how do I need to do this? What's the best way
Yeah.
to do it? I mean, that's probably what people are going to have to do. That's not really into really into bookkeeping.
Yeah.
There's the link, Nikki, if you want to come in, or if anybody else wants to come in and can behave themselves, they're welcome to do so. Well, we'll just have to see what's going on. I haven't,
I've never promised to behave myself, just so you know.
Do I?
I said I've never promised to behave myself, just so you know.
I know that. I expect you that, but your big sister's in the audience and she'll get you in line.
Okay.
Valerie, you can come in too, hon. It's just something we're gonna have to wait and see. There is an old movie. I think it's called Best in League. That's not it. It's a baseball movie. A baseball movie about a bunch of misfit ball players and their manager.
A League of Their Own.
Pardon me?
A League of Their Own.
No, that's the women. This is the one.
Yeah.
This is the one where it's a bunch of guy baseball players, and the owner of the team they're in Cleveland, the Cleveland Browns, and the owner is trying to get, if they don't have a certain amount of attendance, they can move she can move the league or the team, and and Boca Raton's offered them a lucrative deal to come down there. Wild Thing is part of it. He was the guy that was on 2 Men and 2.5 Men.
Oh, Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, he was in it. Anyway, there was a part where when they were doing the preliminary games, if the players went to their locker and opened up their locker and saw a red flag in it, that meant that they were going to be cut and they had to go see the coach. Well, every day when I look at my eBay email, I'm like looking to see if I've got a note on there saying that I have to if I've got a, what is she saying? Look up. Oh, it's up in the chat. Major League. Thank you. That's what it is. Major League. One of my all-time favorite movies. It's so funny. But that's what I'm like when I look at my email or my eBay email. I'm always looking down through there like, oh my God, am I going to have a red flag in there today about this? I got it. Nikki, how are you tonight?
I'm sick.
Are you still sick? You at home?
No, I'm at my daughter's house taking care of the dogs.
Oh, that's right. They've gone to the ball game.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
the ball
Brandy's dog doesn't sleep well at other people's house. So.
Okay.
Little Chihuahua.
Did both girls go with their dad?
No, but Amanda works
Oh.
midnight, so.
Okay. Yeah, Mike, that's at Major League. That's a good movie. Major League 2 wasn't so much, but Major League 1 was funny. And that was also like one of the first movies that Wesley Snipes was in. Let me get this.
I hope it wasn't me that got you sick, Nikki.
It probably was.
No, it's been coming on for a while. It just finally hit me today.
Yeah.
I mean, my throat was scratchy. one day, and then the roof of my mouth was scratchy and swollen. That's usually a sign of a cold, and for me, and
Mhm.
today it just kind of came to a head.
Yeah, Jody's sick too.
Oh God. Okay, well, y'all please. Yeah. Oh, that's right. The Cleveland Indians. That's it. Sorry. And
So I
there,
haven't had my camera on.
and there are Cleveland Browns too, or was?
I don't know.
Okay. Anyway.
I don't
All right.
know.
The next thing is that they fired the CEO, or the CEO has left. I don't think it's going to make a hell of a big difference.
It's not, but they
Because,
have to blame somebody.
yeah, and he's at the top of the food chain. It's always his fault. That's like the governor of your state, the mayor of your city, the president of the United States. It's always their fault because they're sitting in the big seat.
Yeah,
Um,
that's the thing. You take on that responsibility to watch over this
right.
entity. You're gonna have blame placed on you all the time.
Yeah.
So that's why you're getting the big bucks.
Yeah.
Is because you get you're responsible for all of that. Well, if something happens and somebody messes something up or doesn't cover something, doesn't cover their ass, they're going to get the blame put on them, and they're going to be pushed to go find something better.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of people. It's like this managed payments thing. There's some people down the food chain that came up with this idea, and then it started working its way up the food chain. And they're like, they pitched it to their bosses, and that boss pitched it to their boss, and it's made its way up until everybody said, "This is what we're going to do."
Hmm.
Well, he catches the blame. Now, I'm not saying that maybe some of his decisions have not been right, but there's a lot of people up there making decisions or suggestions that they're being paid to give them the right information.
Right.
I mean, it's like Roberta's job. She gets a lot of big wheels that wants her to pull information for them, and they're way up the food chain, and she has no idea what they're going to be using it for. All she can do is give them the right information that they want.
Right.
Hey, Anna. It's good seeing you.
Hi, Anna Mara.
Now, is summer out in California?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I don't think that's going to be, it's going to be just whoever is running the show up there or who's sitting in the big seat there's still going to be screw ups and mess and everything else just because there's.
Yeah. And that's all politics of it,
Yeah.
That's like if somebody was to say the sheriff of your town got caught drinking and driving. Of course, they're gonna say you're no longer gonna be able to be sheriff because you got caught doing this, and we can't have somebody at the the head of our community doing this. It's the same thing. It's just the politics of it.
Yeah, it's like the CEO of Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina was caught DUI, and he had his 2 young daughters in the car.
Oh my gosh.
Well, the insurance commission told the board, the North Carolina Insurance Commission suggested highly to the board of directors of Blue Cross Blue Shield to remove him ask for his resignation. And they did. And they did. And he did. So, I mean, it's just, when you're sitting in a position like that, you got a big old target on your back.
Oh, yeah.
Because if things don't go right, it's your fault.
Mhm.
And in this case, he just screwed up, and it was his fault, and he had to pay the price. And these people are making too much damn money
Yeah.
to be doing crap like that. Um,
Did you get a cha-ching?
nah, I've had my daily cha-ching today already.
That was it. Oh, I got a cough. So listen to this, all
All
right?
right. Yeah, dang. Was that one of your that came up?
Oh, it's bad. It is bad. Like I know when I'm gonna cough, and I just have to prepare myself.
Oh, I know it. It does. I mean, I know it. I've been in a position when you cough, it just makes your whole chest
Oh yeah,
hurt.
I'm rattling.
Okay, I moved
Uh,
my keyboard right now.
I'm a rattling.
By the way, if somebody else didn't know this, because I didn't, my wife has Post-it notes on her computer. Um,
She has what?
it looks like Post-it notes,
Okay.
but it's actually it's on the screen. It's a program. And I asked her, I said, "Where did you get that from?" She says, "You've got Windows 10. It's built into it." So that really makes it handy dandy. So I found it's over in your programs. Uh,
I don't have 10. I got an oldie.
there you go, Nikki. I got to get a
I
mouse
got-
for this laptop. This is driving me crazy. But I've got I set it up, and I've got my my topics for tonight on it. It works
Well,
out
that's
pretty good.
good.
It is, and then you just when you click on your screen for StreamYards, and it goes to the back. Or if you click on it, it brings it to the front. So probably everybody else knew that. I'm just a dumbass old man, but that's just the way it is. And
Yeah, I have Post-it notes on my computer. I love them.
do what, Nikki?
I have Post-it notes on my computer. I love them.
Yeah, I've done. I actually, when I turn on Post-it notes, I can't see my screen because I've got so many little Post-it notes up there now with what I got to do tomorrow and this, that, and the other. The other thing I just don't talk about is, everybody's been talking about their sales, or the lack of sales. How has y'all's been? Has it been about the same, or has it been real slow, or?
It's been kind of sporadic. Like I think I either got 2 or 3 today, and I haven't listed shit. So that's good for me.
Right.
But kind of like what Tara was saying this morning, like one day it'll be way up here and the next day it'll be way down here,
Right.
maybe even skipping a day and making 0. And then, and then the next day is, higher. It's been real up and down for me.
I reached out and talked to a couple of, 4 different. I consider them big eBayers. Their income is. I mean, they live off of their income, that type of thing. And all of
Right.
them are saying, you just got to be, because they said their sales are, they a little bit off, but they're still doing, like $300 to $600 a day.
Yeah.
They said, you just got to have you got to have such a wide variety of inventory that you can't, if you're only selling posh frocks, well, not everybody's looking for posh frocks. Those are fancy dresses, by the way.
Okay. I was trying to imagine in my mind what a posh frock was.
Yeah, that's a. I've heard that we heard that phrase off of some British TV programs. They were always talking about posh frocks.
Oh.
But you got to have, you just got to have your inventory's got to be, into everything to try to get people to buy. Nikki's the same way when she was doing eBay.
I've started again. Thank you.
Okay. She was all over the place. I mean, with the merchandise she had, and she was always having sales.
Right.
And
Right.
I think that people are just going to need to. I mean, it's just my opinion, and I'm not a big reseller, so you can take it with a grain of salt. I think people just
Well, I'm not a big reseller either.
they need to look at anything they see. They need to, if they can scan it. If they have to look it up, and if they can make money off of it, if it's selling on eBay, then they need to buy it to resell it. I mean, I just think that's the biggest thing is because the people that's not having problems are the people that's got got a huge inventory and they've got a huge selection of merchandise.
I kind of agree with that. That's what Tommy said too in a different and Tracy's show, I think. And he said something like the iPhone sellers or iPhone, supplies is not going to have problems because they have like a ton of inventory in their store and iPhone is like a major seller. Well, at the same time, there's like there's so many cell phone supplies online in general that not everybody is looking for that.
Right.
So I think it could be the person that's getting the sales on the trailer hitch, or something that's not as wanted. But maybe something that's kind of more older or unique, a more unique item,
Right.
Well, like the people that are selling those high demand items like iPhones and stuff like that, they don't need to list as much stuff either. Whereas those of us that sell kind of the one-offs or whatever, and we're waiting for that one special buyer to come along,
Right.
we have to have a big inventory and a big store because ours is most of our items aren't that sought after. Where we're just waiting for that one or two special people to come along that want it.
I've mentioned it before. A very good friend of mine, he has said, if you sold 100 items a month that you made $100 profit off of, that would be some good money.
Yeah.
The point is finding the product that you can sell for $100 profit, and that's the finding the product is the big deal. But anyway, I think people just have to keep listing and keep diversifying their product line. Like I said, that's my my take on it. Like I said, just from talking to different people that are big sellers and are still selling a lot of stuff. They have to. I think that's what you have to do. Sorry, I was entering something over here.
I was being attacked by my dog.
Yeah, I saw that. And all right, Marlon Music Channel. Thank you for coming in. If people are not friends with Marlon's Music Channel, how about click on him and after my show ends, and go watch a video and like and subscribe and all that kind of good stuff, if you want to. But I think there's just so much going on right now. It's just got everybody in a tailspin.
Everybody, anytime something's coming up, everybody goes into the, oh my God, the sky is falling. The sky is not going to fall. eBay wants us to succeed because if we don't make money, they don't make money.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like I said earlier on the morning show, yes, they've made some stupid decisions in the past, but they've also made some really good decisions.
Yeah.
And they've made eBay a better place for sellers and buyers. And with these stupid changes, or that we think are stupid changes, but some of the changes actually worked out good. And I think more changes turned out good than bad.
Right.
So, I mean, and like I said, they're here to make money too. I mean, we can't fault them for that,
Right. Hey, Jennifer, it's good to see you.
And they have to be constantly changing, just like we do with our business.
Right.
You have to constantly be changing with the times and what works.
Bedtaz says, I think it's variety. One day I sell a porcelain doll, and the next day I sell a marble and Funkos.
Exactly.
I think that's just it too. I think everybody's going to have to be so diversified that if they don't feel like they can do that, or they don't want to do that, they only want to handle a certain type of product, then they're going to have to take the goods with the bads.
Well, we all have our specialties, and you can still have your specialty. But I think it works better if you have multiple items, different types of items.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to clothing. I've got some clothing that I sell.
No way, Nikki's a clothing seller.
Yeah.
That is something that I did not think I would ever say like 2 years ago.
But you know what? I'm always telling people, about like women are like, oh my God, you sell car parts and tractor parts and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think I could, excuse me a second.
Sure.
Move.
That's all right.
They're like, I don't think I could ever do that, and it's like, you got to learn. You got to learn new things.
Yeah.
So here I'm sitting there, I'd never sell clothing, Not that I'm knocking anybody that does sell clothing. I don't
You better
do that.
not. I'll kick your ass.
But I mean, everybody's got their thing, Well,
Right.
anyways, I'm sitting here telling everybody for the last few years, hey, you guys should, sell car parts and stuff like that. Don't be afraid to get out there and find different stuff to sell.
Right.
Well, I'm not a clothing seller, but, I went out and got some stuff. It hasn't really been great, but I still plug it along and try.
You've done okay with the stuff in the past. Like you've sold uniforms, like army uniforms and stuff like that.
Well, years ago, I used to sell men's clothing. Years and years and years and years ago. I used to sell a lot of men's clothing before it was popular.
It's like Bridget. Bridget sells a little bit of everything. She was selling boat motor parts for the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether she sold through all of them or not, but she was selling. And Bridget's kind of the girly looking. So you would not. It would be kind of hard.
That's not sexist at all.
Oh, that was sexist, honey. That was sexist.
But that's when you have to diversify about where you're getting your stuff too.
Right.
I mean, if all you're doing is going to thrift stores, well, there's only really, one or two types of items that you can really get at a thrift store.
Right.
But me and Bridget and Tara, we all go to auctions.
Yeah.
And I mean, the sky's the limit at an auction. I mean, they got, you go to an estate auction. Well, it's not just estate stuff. Well, you stop and think about what's in estate. Yeah. Okay, an estate is household. An estate is also garage, right. Yard stuff. It's everything. You go to a farm auction. Now you think about all the stuff that's on a farm. Now you got animal stuff. You got tractor stuff, car stuff, tools. Not to mention all the household stuff, That's why I love farm auction.
It's I was talking about you to my dad today when I was sitting with him. Yeah, I was telling about you and your family, how y'all do the steam tractors You know,
Oh.
you have a steam tractor moving around. You know, y'all been going to shows and stuff like that. He says that sounds so interesting. I
You
said,
should have
yeah.
showed him my channel.
He can't see right now.
Oh,
He's had surgery on his eyes, so he's not. He
oh,
doesn't
that's right.
see. Um,
Just so everybody knows, I noticed my teeth look gray. My teeth are not gray. It must be the lighting. I'll let you know.
but
I'm sitting here not trying to smile because I see they look gray. I'm like, oh, that's not it.
I was watching. Or I was listening with my dad. We watched some of the hearing or the question and answering on the new current crises in Washington, and some of the people are like, "Damn, y'all need to brush your teeth." They're looking yellow.
I know.
I'm sure it's the lighting in there. But, you know, but like I said, you know, Bridget, and you know, she had a bunch of boat motor parts there for a while that she bought at auction.
Mhm.
You know, Tara and them, I was watching their video this afternoon where they were going through their auction finds and whatnot, and they were like all over the place there too.
Yep.
And I think that's a big thing, is that when you go to those auctions, which I've been to a couple, I haven't bought anything, but I've been to it just to see how they play out. It gives you the opportunity to buy a scope of things.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can buy some auto parts, and you can buy, you know, some whatnots for houses, and you know, just all over the place because you're at one place. Whereas you were talking about the thrift stores. I mean, our thrift stores suck. They have plenty of clothes, but they have no hard goods or very little hard goods.
Yeah.
But there's some people that can find really good stuff at thrift stores.
Yeah.
Like my thrift stores, they're on and off. Like during the winter, they kind of suck, but during the summertime, they're pretty good. So it just depends. But some people have really good stuff at the thrift stores all the time, and they can
I have to say, you know, the people that go to thrift stores and stuff don't always find home runs. Just about every auction I go to, I can find a home run.
Right. But ours here,
Almost.
the shelves are so empty. I mean, they really just don't have a lot of stuff on the shelves. Not, you know, when I say there's not a lot to find, it's not that, you know, they have a lot of stuff and like I'm not paying attention and I'm not looking. It's that there's not a lot of stuff on the shelves. And that might be because we have like 24 Goodwills in the Charlotte metro area. So it gets all kind of spread out.
What are you trying to say, Marie?
And that's around here. I mean, everybody is different. I mean, look at like Barb going on Grumpy. I mean, she's got great stuff at her thrift stores. Look at all the crap she brings home.
Yeah.
You know, or Chad, the Golden Finger Picker. He always had good stuff at his thrift stores.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, it just depends where you live. Up here, my auctions is where it's at. You know, me and Tara both said, well, when she lived up here, we could never make money off her. If all we had was thrift stores, we'd never be able to make money.
Right. Well, like Meta said, you know, she's up near where Bridget's at, and they run into each other at the auctions and whatnot. I mean, like I said, that's you know, for people that really want to spread their inventory across the different product lines, that's the quickest way to do it.
Yeah.
Now, I've got all kinds of stuff because, you know, way back, Dusty was like, "You got to get out of your comfort zone. You got to get out of your comfort zone."
Yep.
Alabama Picker, for who don't know who Dusty is. I've got.
We know who Dusty is.
I got a box full of brass fittings back here that I bought at a govdeals.com auction for the city of Charlotte. I would have never bought those things, and I don't have very much, like 12 cents a piece in all of them, if that much. And they're not quick sellers, but I sell a couple of, you know, each month I sell a couple of them.
Yeah.
And I would like to have, you know, 1,000 things that I only sold a couple of them each month, you know. That would be, because the money's, you know, it's like this, like $10 profit off of them. I got to ship out 3 of the Crown Royal Apple empty bottles with the bags that I sold today. I got out of a storage unit, and I literally had thrown all of them away. And I was talking to somebody, and they said, "Oh my God!" I think it was Kathy and Valerie that said, "You better go get those out and check them to see if they're worth anything." So I pulled them all out of our trash and went through them, and I found some that would. Hey, Texas Val.
Hi, Valerie.
That sold. So you know,
Awesome.
like I said, you know, get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And that's not an original thought from me. There's a lot of people who've been doing this for a long time. Texasville, there's the link if you want to come in. Because she's getting real. Texas Val, she's getting ready where she comes in to different shows now.
Yeah.
Because
She's becoming YouTube famous.
I know.
Like Peter Mondas.
Let's see. I built my inventory when I first started by going to an auction that later 18 days. Her entire house, yard, garage, and sheds were full. She was a hoarder collector. She slept on her porch. Wow.
Who was that?
That's what Midtaz said. She went to an auction 18 days later, and the whole entire house was being auctioned. Yard, garage, house.
Oh, I thought she bought so much that, okay.
Oh,
Never mind, sorry.
Sheds were full.
Oh, nice.
We had no idea what to buy, but we bought it cheap. Well, that's just it. You know, if you can get the stuff cheap, even if you don't have time to look at it up or you don't know anything about it, if you get it cheap enough,
yeah,
buy it and take it to Goodwill.
Yep.
You know, if you can't sell it, take it to Goodwill or whatever. Like I've started taking a lot of ladies' clothes when I get some nice stuff out of the storage bins.
You wouldn't believe how much money I made off of dollar boxes.
Yeah, I know. I've watched your hauls and your sales and stuff like that. And in Tara's box, she bought like a couple of dollars for a box of stuff, and she's, you know, she probably is going to make $50, $100 off that $2 box.
Yep. One time I was at this auction, and the guy was a big tractor collector or whatever, and I didn't buy any tractors at that one, but all of a sudden this big huge pile of miscellaneous tractor parts, fenders, that kind of stuff, PTO covers, that kind of stuff all came up, and they said that if somebody wanted one thing, he would do that, you know, before he put the whole pile up for scrap. Well, anyways, so everybody was taking out their parts. They were bidding up to $50-$60 a piece, you know, and I sat and waited, and they got down to like $5 a piece, and I sat and waited, and all of a sudden he's like, all right, we're going to do the whole pile. And, you know, there was some crap in there, but there was a lot of good stuff, a lot of green color, you know, John Deere. And a lot of parts for big tractors, the big expensive tractors. Anyways, so all of a sudden nobody's bidding. I start bidding, then somebody else starts bidding. I ended up getting that whole pile. It filled up the bed of Uncle Larry's truck, which was a Dodge Hemi.
Right.
It filled up the back of his truck, heaping full of parts. And I made so much money. I mean, I sold some on eBay. I took them to our Steam show and had them at our flea market and sold them. I mean, I've sold so many parts out of that pile for $12, and I've sold so many. I mean, there was just one oil thing on there. I sold that for $60, you know, and there was another cover I sold for $50, and another one of them big fenders, I sold that for $110. I mean, that was off of $12.
Right.
Sure, I let a lot of good parts go, but I didn't want to pay that much for them. But
Right.
Because I figured even if I scrapped all that, I could make more than $12, you know. Actually, the reason why I bought the pile was I was hoping that there were parts for the tractors in our family, but there wasn't any. There was absolutely not one part in that whole pile of stuff that we could use on any one of our John Deere tractors. It
Wow.
was a bummer, but I made good money on it.
I went with my brother a couple. This is like last summer. They were looking for a horse trailer, and they were going to a big farm equipment auction. And we went down there. I went with him and his son-in-law and daughter, and more people were bidding on the piles of junk than they were on the, like the new tractors or the relatively new tractors, or
Yeah.
they were wanting the half of a combine, or they were wanting a part of the disc harrow. There was only a part of a big disc harrow. They that's what they were wanting, because they were going to put it with other stuff, or they were going. One guy was a reseller, only he would take the stuff apart, refinish it, and sell it as a piece of operating farm equipment.
Well, most of the time, people would go there to get the stuff to replace, to fix what they have. You know,
they were going crazy over like random parts and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had 3 horse trailers. They had pulled 2 of them. That one of those 2 my niece had actually wanted. But they had 3 more. And my brother knows horse trailers. He's like, man, they were paying new prices for those used horse trailers. And
yeah, I believe it.
But that's the whole auction thing. People get carried away,
Summer, do you go to yard sales like all year long, right? Because yard sales, flea marts, that's where it's at, Kelly.
Yeah, there's what's his name? Storage Auction Pirate, I think his name is. I think he's down in like Southern Cali. He's at flea markets all year round, and they're not like up here where you're in jackets half the year,
Right.
And the flea markets kind of drop off. Or she doesn't do yard sales.
Whoa, girl. You might like need to take a couple days just to travel out of your circle.
Yeah, you need to get to California.
That was one of the many reasons why I got a reliable vehicle, is because I want to start venturing out a little bit further. Not saying that I don't get good inventory, around me, because I pretty much, I can score on a lot of stuff, I know you're getting really good stuff at the thrift stores too. Like you get pretty good brands. And so, but to be able to pay less for those, you need to start, kind of venturing out of your area a little bit, maybe. Brandon says I can't start. Not that he's dictating what I can do or what I can't, but just to make a point. But we kind of had an agreement that I need to get this room cleaned up. Some of the stuff either. Look at that kitty. Look at that kitty. Did you see how that's what gets me about cats? They'll look it up at you upside down.
Yeah. Well, on Facebook, I posted this thing about it was when you scold your dog, and the puppy's got this real sad little face on it.
Yeah.
And then it says, "What happens when you scold your cat?" And it's the cat shooting the bird at the owner.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
the mentality of cats. So you can't.
But
Brandon says you can't buy anything else until you clean that room out.
he says I need to clean this room and the garage before I start. Like, I mean, I can buy stuff, but I really don't like buying stuff. I'd rather dumpster dive.
Right.
Yeah.
I'd rather get it for free. But and I already have a spot picked out where I want to go dumpster dive, but it's in the area that we go every once in a while to West Branch. It's over there. So, and there's about, I'd say 30 dumpsters lined up right in a row.
Wow.
So it would be one right after the other.
I was doing some riding around looking behind shopping centers and around here it's like they've got them inside of cages, and then they got the cages locked, and they got the dumpster locked. I can understand having the cages locked because probably we have a big homeless situation here.
Right.
They would probably be making camps behind the dumpsters and whatnot like that.
See, and they don't do that here.
Who the hell wants to go if you don't have a place to live? Who wants to go live outside in Michigan? Especially this time of year.
This is true. If you never want to see another homeless person, just come to Michigan because you don't really see them here. Like, I'm sure there's areas.
Right.
I'm sure there's areas that have them, but yeah, they don't have them here. And yeah, these dumpsters, there was about 30 of them, not even kidding.
Wow.
And it's like a strip mall. And they're all the old dumpsters that have the rubber top lids that flap up and down. No locks on them, no cages around them, nothing. So I'm planning on it.
That's gonna be cool.
I know, and I'm gonna film it too.
Hopefully, you'll get a lot of good stuff out of it.
I hope so.
And you got something to haul it with. Well, you had the van before too, but
yeah, but I have a Jimmy, and it has a back seat and it has a back area. So, I mean,
you just have to do like Bridget does. You'll have to just load it up, and then if Brandon has the ride on the top, hang on to the carrier on the top of it to get him, then that's what he has to do.
I do have a rail on top, so if I have to, I'll tie it down.
You see Miss Sally talking? Okay. When somebody starts talking, she starts looking to see who it is. Okay, lay down. But that, like I said, they just seem to have everything locked down around here because I've checked different different areas in the city, and and they just have everything locked up. And I mean, I understand why, because the businesses that have disposed of stuff, they've written it off. And there's a lot of manufacturers. You probably have the same thing at your store. It's paper scan. You don't pay for it until it hits the register. So when you dispose of it, then you're supposed to be disposing of it in a way that, it's not getting back out.
Right.
I remember when I worked part-time at Staples, the calendars, about halfway through the year when the new ones would start coming out for the coming year, we would take a box cutter and just make big X's on them just to, they weren't usable anymore. And, furniture, people would bring back chairs because the wheel was broken off on it. But it was still under warranty. So they would end up swapping it out. Well, we'd take a box cutter to the seat cushions and the backs of it, just so people could, it would be messed up. and people wouldn't
Yeah.
want it. And
I know at the shoe store here, which is close to the dumpster that I go to, that dumpster is close to the dumpster I go to. Anyways, they when they dispose of shoes, they dispose of all the lefts
right.
one week and all the rights the next week.
Wow.
Yep.
It's so I mean I understand why they want to dispose of stuff in a certain way to theoretically keep people from getting it that hasn't paid for it. I mean I understand that and understand there's they've got agreements with manufacturers and things like that. So I mean I understand it, but there's a lot of stuff that does go bad that is thrown away that could be used by the homeless shelter or that type of thing. Which that's where I've been taking. I mean, clothes that's not listable. I've been taking men's to the men's homeless shelter, women's to the women's abuse center where
That's cool.
where they try to help get women back into the workforce and get them back on their own. Excuse me.
I got a whole crap load of clothes I'm going to bring somewhere.
We had this stuff I had a grater tater or something like that from McAllister's today, and I've had heartburn ever since I ate it.
Hey, your kitty says, "Hey, remember I'm standing right here."
Yeah, well, you need to lay down, honey. You got your light over there. Now, I was reading what Summer was saying. There was 18 Instacart shoppers in my grocery store today.
Yeah.
Every time I go count, I'm just blown away.
Maybe that's what you need to start doing, Summer.
People love Instacart. Oh my God. The customers that I go to, they're like, oh my God, I just love this.
I mean, maybe it wouldn't be a bad thing to see if you can, take care of some of your bills in that way, instead of like do it twice a week or something, just to see if it pays off.
Yeah, I had to drop my car off at the shop to be worked on, and I called Lyft, and they came and got me. The guy that picked me up was his son was a Cub Scout when I was a Cub Scout leader. Because he's like, I know you from somewhere, and I'm like, you look familiar too, and I'm like, Scouts? He said, that's it. You were my son's Tiger Scout leader. Anyway, the company he worked for went out of business, and he drives Lyft, and I've got his phone number. So if I need a Lyft driver, I call him, and he comes. And then when I get in the car with him, then he does whatever he has to do so I can lock it in. And he says he has a lot of customers, repeat customers like that. And he says he makes a pretty good income, even based on the fact that he's paying for gas and he's also paying for wear and tear on his car and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But he said, he says that he just drives a lot. And to this afternoon, I was driving back from my mom and dad's house, which is in Rock Hill, up Interstate 77 in Charlotte, which it goes right through Charlotte. And I'm sitting in traffic at 3:00 in the afternoon, and I'm thinking, people do this every day. Every day. Can they not find a freaking job down in Rock Hill? They got to drive to Charlotte. And if I had to do it, I would have to move to another area of the state. Yeah. So, because I just couldn't do the traffic. And I've been in LA at 5:00 rush. And how the hell those people do that every day is beyond. Because all it takes is one little car accident on that interstate that runs down through Los Angeles.
Oh yeah,
that big 8-lane thing.
Yeah.
And our tour bus driver said that his wife was on it at 5 o'clock. There was a car accident, and she finally got home at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I just that's insane.
Yeah. It just takes freaking forever to get out of there.
And I guess I'm just old, and I just don't have patience.
We had to. I remember when we went to Disneyland. It was soon after Brandon had moved out there, but Brandon didn't go with us to Disneyland. It was just me and my sisters and my sister-in-law, my nieces, and my kids, and we were coming from Los Angeles, um, down into Valencia and all, from Valencia all the way back to where we lived at in Porterville, and there was a fire that was on the Grapevine, and it took. We finally got to where we could take a detour, but it was all the way around Santa Barbara, and so this detour was like 30 or 40 miles out of the way.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it was crazy. And oh, I'm sure it's just getting worse and worse with the traffic and all of that. But yeah, it was insane that we had to do that because of a fire on the sides of the roads, you know.
Right.
It was so smoky and everything, and it looked like it was snowing because of the ash.
We have a neighbor that he and his wife moved,
Yeah.
and their children moved from California because of the traffic. They lived between LA and San Diego, but they said between the traffic and the taxes, they said they had to get out of there. And they somebody happened to come along that wanted their house, and because it was on, it laid the back of their property line laid up against a shopping center, and their zoning on their house was zoned for either commercial or residential. So the company that was behind them wanted to buy it, so they sold it. And he said they had like 30 days to find it. They found to find jobs out here, which is he had a sister or brother out has a sister or brother out here, so they flew out here, found some jobs, and found them a house to rent, and they ended up buying the one down the street. But he said, they had the opportunity to get out of there, and they took it. He said we might have had to live in the camper for a while. He said, but they had the opportunity and they got out. And he said just because they loved it out there. They loved the weather, being that down in between San Diego and LA, the weather was always nice. It was just the taxes and the
oh yeah, it's too much. Everything is too much with that state. It seems like. Yeah, Valerie says a 3-hour trip turned to 12-hour trip.
Oh, that had to be a long freaking day. And that would that have been one way, or did y'all ever make it to Disneyland?
Yeah.
Yeah, that had, especially with little kids.
If anybody has a Speedway gas station, this is like the best popcorn ever. It's Speedy Choice. It's fire roasted sweet corn. It tastes just like corn. It tastes just like corn on the cob.
Wow.
Oh wow.
So if you have a Speedway gas station, get some. It's really good.
We have Speedway down here.
Oh, it's so good.
I'll have to check.
The brand is Speedy Choice. Oh my god.
That must be their brand, their store brand, if you want to call it that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so good.
The truth, I heard that you were having a revival in Las Vegas. Can you tell us about that? It's all right, Karen. I would rather move move southern a little bit, but I don't know. I haven't decided on, like somewhere where I want to live. I haven't decided on that. And I don't know if I want to live in a specific place or if I want to travel.
She wants to move down there near Todd.
No, I really don't.
I was just
That
making
would
a joking just in
be
case he was
warm for
lurking.
me. That'd be way too warm for me, I think.
Yeah, y'all used to that 31
Karen's
degrees below zero.
With my
Karen's
arthritis, me and
like,
Gary have been talking about going south for the winter time and just coming back in the summer.
yeah.
What you gonna do with your dad? Take him with?
Yeah.
Yeah, Texas is hot. I went to Dallas. Oh God, it would have been in the early '80s, and my friends that I were visiting out there, they said the week before the damn asphalt was melting. It was so hot out there. I'm like, nope, that's a little bit too warm for myself. And that was back when I was 10. And I do have a friend that lives in Arizona, in Phoenix, and he's like, oh man, it's 107 out here. But that's a dry heat, isn't it, Tom? It's 107. I can fry eggs
Yeah.
and bacon on the hood of my car. It's 100
Hot is hot.
Yep.
because that's what
I
they
don't care
say.
if it's dry or wet. Hot is hot.
Yeah, because the humidity out here will cause the heat index to go up. When we went on the cruise, there was a couple that was from. They were from Wyoming, and they said, how do y'all take the humidity? And I said, because you grow up with it, you don't pay any attention to it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the way it is. It's like up there where y'all are at, Well, Nikki definitely, because she's a Wisconsin, Minnesota girl. That 32-degree weather for a month or 2 or 3 is just the norm. So it's
32-degree weather. I wish it would be 32-degree weather in the winter time.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
After I said it out there, did
We're
I
talking
put it
32
up?
below in the winter time here.
Yeah. Well, that's what it was. It's like 3 months you had like 31 degrees below zero up there.
Yeah.
I'm like, screw that. My fat butt would have been already moved.
32 is nice.
Yeah, if we get 32 in the winter time, man, that'd be shorts weather. That'd be beautiful.
Every once in a while I'll watch an episode or two of this. It's like a Canadian train, and there's like people that live out in the rural areas, and they have flags they put up so the trains will stop at their property so they can get on the train.
Oh.
And I'm thinking to myself, you got like 8 feet. You said you've got 8 feet of snow out here. No electricity. No, we won't be participating in that activity. I mean, I have my cousin who was like a little brother. He or younger brother. He and his wife just bought a camper, and his wife said, "Y'all need to start camping too." And I'm like, "Okay, the Econo Lodge is camping." I've done my bit for God and country on the camping, sleeping on the floor or on the ground, in cots and sleeping bags. I like having a comfy bed at night.
And our RV hasn't come up for sale yet. We're still waiting on that.
Oh, you got one that you got your eyes on?
That's that one I sent you guys the picture like a couple months ago.
Okay.
And we wanted to buy it. Yeah. Still hasn't come up for sale yet because all the rest of the stuff of the estate is gone, but that RV needed a title or whatever. So he's just been waiting for that.
Wow. Are you going to bid on it once they?
Yeah.
Far out. Well, you got that big old truck. You need to go ahead and just get you like a fifth wheel, like Texas Val's got?
Well, we could get a fifth wheel too, but we like that RV.
I was I had to stop at a Love's truck stop today, just on the way home, and to get some gas. And as I was pumping my gas, I saw these two girls, and which is still hot out here, so the clothing was nothing out of the ordinary, but they were in like halter tops and short shorts and flip flops, and in my mind I'm going, are those lot lizards? Is that what you call them? Lot lizards?
Oh.
Because I've never heard of that expression before you told me about that.
That's what truck drivers call them, lot lizards.
Yeah, you told us stories about your experience with them. Well, listen, it's 9:30. It's been about an hour and a half. That's long enough. I don't want to drag this thing out forever. I'm glad y'all came in here and hung out with me today. Sally, I am definitely glad that you got a chance to come on. This is the first time you've been on my show.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about in the morning when we're filling in for Valerie.
Right.
Because
Well,
you're
thanks for having me.
usually sleeping on Thursday night. Now, are you out on sick leave or
What's that?
are you out on sick leave for a while?
No.
Are you going in tonight?
No, I don't have to go in tonight, but I gotta go in tomorrow at 3.
Oh, okay. That's right. You're working afternoons, aren't you?
I'm
Yeah.
usually on an auction on Thursday night, but I decided I was too sick to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Tara and Jim go to one on Thursday night at their place too. But anyway, I'm glad y'all could come in here. Sally, I'm really glad that you came in here tonight.
I go.
And Nikki, I'm glad that you're getting back into eBank, so we'll see you more.
What are you saying, Tom? You're more happy that Sally came in than me?
You didn't hear what I said. I said I'm glad that you're getting back into eBaying so we can see you more. Because usually you're pushing snow
exactly
or
what
cutting grass or that kind of crap. Are you going to be doing the snow biz this year?
Yeah,
you-
I'm gonna do snow plowing too. Because I don't have to plow when it snows, you know. So I mean, it's not like it's an everyday thing like the lawn mowing was.
Right. Well, I thought you got snow all the time.
Oh yeah, but we only have to plow when it snows.
Oh, okay.
Once you plow it and where it needs to be, you don't have to plow until the next time when it snows.
Okay. All right. Well, we don't have to deal with that problem.
We don't get that much snow where we just got to continuously plow every day.
Well, see, that's what I did. I thought y'all got like snow all the time. Like every other day it was snowing.
No, not that bad. Well, sometimes, but
Right.
not usually. Last year was an unusual year. We had over 75 inches last year, I think it was,
Yeah.
which we don't usually get that much.
Hi, Cookie. Hey, Cookie.
Last year it snowed a lot, but that was good. I made a lot of money.
Yeah, you did.
Bumcrack said for y'all to get well soon.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
So anyway, I'm glad y'all came in here with me. Everybody that's in the chat, thank you for coming in here.
Thank you, guys.
I
Thanks,
really
buddy.
appreciate it. I like doing this once a week,
Yeah.
especially when I don't have stuff come up to keep me from doing it. So anyway,
I miss having live shows.
Yeah. Me
Uh,
too.
I enjoyed that immensely.
yeah, Metaz, my neighbor about 2 houses down is from Buffalo. And she is a Buffalo girl. And she, a few years back when y'all had like 18 feet of snow in about 3 hours, it took her like 3 hours to get home, and it normally takes her 30 minutes. By the time she got home, she'd already found her another job. And she walked in the door and she told her husband, I've got a job in North Carolina. I'm going. Y'all want to go? You can go. If you don't, y'all can stay. So she came on down and got started with her job. And then her husband, he gave his notice, and then brought the kids on down when they were like at the end of a semester or something like that. But she just said she just had had enough of the snow. And like I said, she was born and raised there, learned how to drive there. Yeah, Buffalo gets a lot of snow from what I heard. And guess what, lovely people? Y'all keep it up there where y'all are at. 'Cause you
Well,
don't
when we were snowmobiling and stuff, and my husband used to ski and stuff like that. I mean, snow is awesome. But now we're getting older, and we sold our snowmobiles. Gary don't ski anymore. You know, there's really no need for it. I like snow on Christmas, and that's it.
well, see, I've never had a white Christmas. Never. I take that back. We rented a chalet up at Beach Mountain, and which was right on the ski slope. So they made snow all night long. So we did have a white Christmas, but it was all man-made snow, that was blowing over where we were at.
Feel better, Jody.
Believe it or not, our ski hills have to make snow.
Yeah, I
Our
mean,
ski hills make snow all the time.
we were out in Colorado, and this has been years ago. I went out there snow skiing, and they were making snow. They had to make snow one night because they had not gotten any natural powder in like a week. And, those people out there, they'll have a full slope all the time out there. So anyway, y'all have a great night, everybody. Thank y'all for coming in. Let me see if I can figure out how to end this broadcast. But y'all have a great night. Thank you.
Thanks for having your show, Tom.
Yep. Thanks for having us on.
You're always welcome. Is it?
Bye-bye.
Oh, there it goes. And
Good night, guys. See you tomorrow.
all right. Bye.